If you pray to the same God as your ancestor slave master, then you're praying to the God that enabled the slave master to enslave your ancestors. And that God would be the enemy of you and your ancestors. Every time we say we worship God, we are giving power to a negative Germanic spirit force, because the etymology of God traces back to the Proto-Germanic word gudan and gut or Gothic, which means to invoke. So when the Greeks or Canaanites came into ancient Africa, they called us atheists because we didn't worship God. We are Etherians or Etherists, and atheists and Etherists are the same thing because ether was spelled with an A in ancient Africa. So by nature, we are atheists, which means not of God, but instead of non-ether or ether. If your ancestors, slave masters, were Arabic-speaking Muslims, both of you prayed to Allah, and the slave master would pray to Allah or a negative spiritual force of 6 ether disguised as Allah to keep your ancestors in captivity. Your ancestors would also pray to this negative spiritual force called Allah to be freed from this captivity, not realizing that this negative force called Allah was the one keeping your ancestors in slavery. The same thing also applies that if your ancestor slave masters were Christians or Hebrews or Greeks, then God or Yahweh or Jesus kept your ancestors in slavery, because you can't pray or communicate with a God that doesn't look like you or speak your language, because you're not genetically related through DNA or blood type. In ancient Africa, we had Nun and Nunet or Amun or Amen, and in ancient Sumeria, we had An or Anu, or the power of the ancients and their attributes to invoke and call on. We continue to call and pray to their gods or deities they taught us to call on in church, such as Yahweh, Jehovah, Jesus, or Allah. You give them power to rule over you spiritually and mentally. Spiritual power is where ruling power comes from. They took our family deities that are related to us and changed the dialect, giving them a different name to create a negative polarity or energy.